Talent Basketball and Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, he's holding 0 coffee mugs, which means we average out to holding 1 coffee mug. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing good. I got a cup of tea.
You got a cup of tea? Now, if I might ask, you as a scumbag liberal, why do you insist on using plastic cups?
That's just what I got here. I had no choice.
Don't just carry around a cup with you?
What do you mean, drink with my hands? Put it in a
One of
bowl,
those-
drink it like a dog?
Hey,
Don't you want me
can
to do
we-
that? I'm going to be a dog?
I think that we should make like an anti-Mount Rushmore with like the 4 worst people in history, right? Like you'd put Hitler on there, obviously.
Ooh,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
one of the people we should put on there is whoever the first person was that invented those little triangle paper cups
Oh, yeah.
that you would use at the water. Those are the worst invention ever. They work
get,
for
like,
exactly
one sip of
4
water.
seconds. They're so wasteful. They exist so that you cannot put them down. And the only reason that they permeated everywhere is because they're cheap. And people who run businesses are always looking how to cut their bottom line a little bit.
Yeah, like if you fill it up like a second time, you immediately feel the water soaking through. Like
Yeah.
You got one go before it starts to become a problem.
And they
It's true.
contain
We'll find
what?
this man.
They contain a thimble of water. So if you want to drink, like if you just came in from the hot sun and you want to drink 3 thimbles of water, you're just out of luck,
Chugging
man.
those little.
After
Why
you-
triangles too?
I don't know.
Why
So you
little
can't put them
cones?
down. So you can't put them down and
That's
walk
true.
away and come back.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. It's the worst invention.
I'll find
Anyways,
out who made them
Yeah, and we'll put him on the
They'll
negative Mount
harass
Rushmore with
him.
Hitler.
and his family.
So we have Hitler, the guy that created the triangle cups. We'll figure out the next 2 later. But those 2 for sure are on the negative Mount Rushmore. Do you get demonetized on YouTube if they detect you said Hitler too early in a podcast? Because we said Hitler we didn't. I said Hitler like 5 times already.
I don't think so, because like there's so many like political commentary people on YouTube now, and it's borderline become overused that everybody's just like the Nazis. Like everything in politics, they'll be like, just like the Nazis and Hitler. And you're like, all right, let's find a different, comparison. Let's be a little more original.
Yeah, at least break out like Stalin
Mao
every once in a
Zedong.
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mao Zedong. We don't get enough Mao Zedongs, you know?
Don't give up Mao Zedong.
That's what I'm always saying. Gershon Yabusele, you know? I'm not saying he's evil, but like, why hasn't anyone ever compared politics to Gershon Yabusele?
Why is no one ever like, this war in Iran is just like Genghis Khan?
It's exactly what Genghis Khan would do. In a way, aircraft carriers blocking an important oil strait is similar to being the first people who figured out how to fire bows on horseback.
Yeah. Hey, so to turn the podcast towards our usual topic, you know what I was thinking about today?
What's that?
I was thinking, what is it like to lose a hockey game after the Olympic break? Because I got no idea what it's like to lose a hockey game after. You want to see something that's just gorgeous? Look at this. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Since December 9th, 29-5-2. You! More like 29-5 and you.
Yeah, I was
beautiful.
I was like shaken to my core for a second when the other day I saw the number of wins at 40 next to the Buffalo Sabres, and it wasn't the end of the season, and I was like, what the fuck? 40 wins? 40. They have 40 wins? That's impossible.
Yeah, someone pointed out that like the Sabres had 11 wins come like whatever I just pulled up, like that early December game, and now all of a sudden they're at 40.
Which by the way, this win streak, like that early December game is like exactly when Kevin Adams got fired. What was he doing to this team, Mike? Was he
I don't know.
poisoning them? He is
This
just
is
like
bad
Hitler and the
vibes.
Nazis.
I think the boys were trying to get him fired. So once he was gone, they were like, all right, let's do this for Yarmo. For Yarmo and Lindy.
He was just like he was at like rinkside, and if anyone didn't get on a back check, he started yelling about how they just wanted to go see palm trees, and they were like, we got to get this guy out of here.
Fucking done with this guy.
Imagine potentially putting together a roster that's going to make a deep playoff run, getting fired before it's realized, and only being remembered for the guy that said that it's hard to get people to come play for a place that doesn't have palm trees.
Deep playoff run. Dude, I've gotten so sucked in at this point, I'm going straight Andrew Garfield. You know, we're not
Tick,
coming
tick,
back
boom.
to the playoffs for one round. We're coming back for the whole thing.
You know, I don't appreciate this whole thing you're doing today where you're bulldozing through my bits to get your joke off instead of letting me derail it.
Might be.
With the Sabres thing, I think it's also just it's phenomenal how everyone is behind the Sabres. I mean, we had this a few years ago in the NFL with Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, are you at all worried that just like Detroit winning one postseason, having wins in one postseason is going to poison the well for you for all the rest of time?
No, I mean Buffalo is a. I know it's. You don't entirely get it. This isn't a shot at you, so don't take it the wrong way. But because you became a hockey connoisseur, like what, 5 years ago now?
Oh, it's been like 8 years.
Time flies.
Yeah, right?
But still, that entire 8 years, the Sabres sucked. So you don't remember the days where like Buffalo was like hockey town, and they're just like a lovable team. That's why you see a lot of people like on Twitter who are like actual like NHL personalities who cover the sport, saying nice things about the Sabres being back.
Should I just quickly point out for anyone listening that they literally call Detroit Hockey Town? Like that's literally where they call Hockey Town.
Nah.
It is referred to as Hockey Town.
Nope, it's the city of good neighbors, baby.
Philadelphia?
Nope, that's not.
Can we
Philadelphia
petition?
is the city of brotherly love, which is bullshit, by the way.
Can we petition to get that removed from Philadelphia's moniker?
Yeah, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus. They're out of control.
Yeah, they ate horse shit when they won the Super Bowl. They ate horse
Did they
shit.
really?
Yes.
I missed
there
that
was
story.
videos
That's
online
shit.
of drunk Philadelphia fans picking up horse shit off the street from police horses and eating it. Do not go to Philadelphia for any reason. The most famous thing to come out of Philadelphia is a show about how terrible everything in Philadelphia is.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about drunk fans? There's I think it was after the Tampa game. Someone tweeted out like, just saw some dude in the 300 section light up a cigarette. Buffalo hockey is back.
I've been to Key Bank, not to brag,
You have.
so I know just what it's like to be a
Right
Buffalo.
up to the
Sabres
boards.
fan. Yeah,
Right behind Razor.
with his
Gave
giant
me a high
fucking
five
hands.
on my birthday.
He is the biggest hands I've ever seen, man.
Yeah, I was chirping Milan Lucic.
Yeah, you were chirping Milan Lucic's nose for the whole game. By the way, Buffalo got whipped in that game.
Yeah.
Lost by like 3
But
goals.
look at us now.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
And where's Milan
right.
Lucic? No one knows.
We'll talk more. That's true. We'll talk. Maybe he's getting rhinoplasty for that fucking shark fin of a nose of his. Anyway, we'll talk more Buffalo later when we cover Team Town alone the past week. All right.
Yeah, that's true. We will. And somehow we'll barely talk about Tampa Bay because
No, we
that's
will.
how
I
it
got
goes
thoughts.
when Buffalo is involved. Mike, we're a week out from the
Adam.
trade deadline at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Let's. We have a very famous bit that we have come up with, and it's made its way around. Other podcasts, I believe, have used it on occasion, but I don't chagrin them that. It's a great bit that we came up with. A little thing called favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated.
Other podcasts retroactively went back in time to before when our podcast was a thing and used it. I don't know how, but they did it.
It's quite
they got
impressive.
their DeLorean.
Listen, they just understood that it was a good bit that we came up with. Favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated. Mike, a week out from the trade deadline, let's do a quick, now that we have 3 to or I guess 2 to 4 games for each of these teams. Let's do a quick favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated for this the trade deadline acquisitions here.
So, based on like the segment where you said a weekend, I took that to mean like only trades that took place like the day or maybe the day before the deadline.
Yeah,
Nothing
you can't go
that took
Quinn
place,
Hughes.
like Artemi Panarin. No.
Uh-huh. Was that going to be on your list somewhere? Were you like, my favorite was Artemi Panarin, but then
No,
he
I
got
think
his
so.
coach fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page there.
Dope.
So Mike, give me your favorite. Give me your favorite trade
My
deadline
fave?
acquisition a weekend. And if you say Sam
So
Carrick, I'm
there's-
flying to Virginia and kicking you in the head.
No. I thought about just being an obnoxious homer Being like favorite, Sam Carrick, underrated, Logan Stanley. But no, there's like a handful you could go with for favorite. I tried to go slightly off the beaten path, where I somewhere I didn't think you would go, and I went with Connor Garland to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, making me look like a dumb.
I really like this move. The Blue Jackets have been hot lately. I think they're 6-3-1 in their last 10. They're 2 points out of a wild card spot, making that push. So management felt like, all right, let's reward the boys. Let's make an addition. Try to help us get there. They gave up a second, but it's in 2028, so who knows what's going to be happening then. Yeah. And a third in 2026. Garland's not like, oh my God, greatest winger in history, amazing. He's not that kind of dude, but he's a winger with a nice shot. And so after scoring 7 goals in 50 games with the god-awful Vancouver Canucks, he scored 4 in 3 games with the Blue Jackets. Why? Because he's on the second line with Kent Johnson and Sean Monahan. And that just fits well. Take a winger with a good shot, put him on a line with some guys who are talented and can drive play, and just try to set him up. And it's working. So I really like this move. And honestly, I got a soft spot for these Blue Jackets. I'm pulling for them to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what? Another team that we'll talk about a little bit here in a minute. But me too. I like these Blue Jackets. I like them quite a bit, even though I hate their team name and their jerseys. But hey, Zach Werenski, gold medalist. So
it's true. Has LeBron ever been seen at a Columbus Blue Jackets game?
No. They don't allow NBA players at hockey games, Mike. Just imagine like a hallway at a Columbus Blue Jackets game where on one side is Elvis Merzlikins and on the other side is LeBron James. How many people are leaving the LeBron James line to get a picture with Elvis Merzlikins?
None. Even hockey fans would be like, I'm going with LeBron.
Yeah. I'll even give you Adam Fantilli. I still think they would. Adam Fantilli might be in the LeBron line.
Yeah.
My favorite, Mike. This motherfucker, pun intended, Corey Perry.
Oh, you like this one, eh?
You know what? I thought it was so stupid. I thought this trade was so dumb when it happened. I'm like, he's 50 years old. I get it. He's like, what if Shorzy was in the NHL? Sure. But he's had a fucking impact immediately, man. He has points in 2 out of the 3 games. He has a +2 so far. He hasn't been on the ice for a single goal against. He has 5 penalty minutes, which is exactly what you expect out of Corey Perry. And he's just in there stirring shit up constantly, man.
Yeah.
He's already had like 2 fights. Like, you know what? Like, there's a lot to like about this Tampa Bay team, and we'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. But they brought in Corey Perry, and I was just like, whatever. It's Corey Perry. It's Corey Perry in the year of our Lord 2026, and the dude's had an impact. He's flying, setting the tone, brother, throwing hits. I just like the guy.
40. I was in a similar boat. I was thinking about this trade. I was like, is this really what, like, does Tampa really think they're going to get what they need out of this? But they gave up a 2028 second-round pick, which, like, I've come to learn that more than any sport, I think the drop-off in value from first to second round is, like, the most in hockey.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, how teams value those picks. So giving up a second-round pick in a couple years for a team that's gunning for another Stanley Cup, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. If you go all in and win a Stanley Cup, no one remembers what price you paid.
Right. And I also think in 2028, when they're like, oh, the Kings are now on the clock, they got this pick from Tampa Bay, people are going to still be like, oh, they did? Huh?
Sure, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Whatever you say. I'm sure they did. I'm prone to agree with you. And I don't know if you heard this, Mike. I don't know if you heard this, but this Corey Perry guy, you see, the night he got traded, he didn't get into Toronto until it was 5 a.m. by the time he got to the hotel. And you know what? He was there on morning skate, Mike.
Yeah, he was.
If you for whatever reason, if you happen to have watched, say, the last 3 Tampa Bay Lightning games for a segment coming up, you would have heard that story every time, multiple times per game. They love to tell you that Corey, he was at morning school. He didn't get.
This guy.
You know, he shouldn't even been there. He's 95 years old. Didn't get to the hotel until 5 a.m.
Yeah.
He can't sleep on a plane. Who could sleep on a plane?
Planes. What are you doing, Corey?
Mike, what's your least favorite trade after a week?
I
will let you
maybe
pick
another
Artemi
one
Panarin for this one if you really want to.
No, another one that might be slightly off the beaten path, but it's Warren Fogle
That is a little bit off the beaten path, I'll be honest with you.
to the Senators. So the Senators swap conditional thirds. I'm not going to read the conditions because it's like a fucking paragraph long. And then the Kings get a second, basically, for Warren Fogle. 8 goals on the season, 2 assists, 10 points. Little fourth liner Warren Fogle. My beef is like, is this really like the Senators put time and effort into getting a Warren Fogle trade done
They should have just
to get
I mean,
a fourth line winger?
man, they got now Jake Sanderson's out for them too. They're gonna miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
They should have just traded Kachuk, right?
They should have. How many points out are they? So they're 5 points out with 19 games left to play. It's not. I mean, it'd be
Not
tough,
possible,
but it's
no.
not. Yeah, it's not entirely impossible. So I just basically what you're going with. I feel like you should have been maybe on the phones talking to St. Louis for Justin Falk, who went to Detroit, or Colton Parayko, who didn't want to go to Buffalo. Maybe he really wanted to go to the capital of Canada. Or another thing I was thinking was like, would it have been that crazy to call Florida and be like, yeah, we'll eat 1 year of Bob's contract. At least he's a goalie with some kind of track record. We have
Yeah.
terrible goaltending. So, like, something like that. But instead, they were on the phones working out a Fogle trade. Weird. Not where I would have spent my time and effort.
Right now, Ottawa has a better chance to make the playoffs than Seattle. I don't know what hockey season Money Puck's been watching, but it's a different one than the one I've been watching. Where Seattle,
make a good trade
they've been
out
like,
of it.
Seattle's not making the playoffs. They've been like 5 points in the playoffs since December. And there's like, this Seattle team's
Yeah,
not making the
sure.
playoffs.
I hated the Bobby McCann trade for them.
I know, you brought that up. I can't believe you didn't go with the worst for that one as much as you hated it.
Nah.
My least favorite, Mike. You know what? I was going to go with one kind of hot takey, but I think I'm going to hold on to that one. I'm going to go with Mackenzie Weegar.
Oh, you hate that move.
Mackenzie Weegar. I don't hate the move. It's just
I like
been
the move.
so far it's been a fat nothing burger.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking 1 week in. So,
Yeah.
and like outside of Connor Garland, who's caught absolute fire, a lot of these trade pieces after a week aren't going to be like major in one way or another. But he's had 1 point since he came in, and you go, Adam, he's a defensive player. He's not supposed to have a bunch of points. He only had 19 on the season or whatever. But he's also like been on the ice for some pretty poor defensive games by Utah, which maybe you brought him in to stop having those, but they lost by 5 goals against Minnesota yesterday. So not a great team impact from Mackenzie Weegar yet, and I'll be honest with you, I did not watch that Minnesota-Utah game while I was catching up on hockey for the day. I thought, no, I'm not going to watch the 5-0 game. I'm going to watch the Avs and Oilers instead.
I think Uyghur, like, they brought him in to like shore up their third pair defenseman, like, or defensive unit, which is like fine, but he's also not going to like really change the trajectory of that team. So
he's playing a shitload of minutes, and it's just been a lot of nothing. He's taken 3 shots in 3 games, and has 1 point on a secondary assist. It's been a big fat nothing burger, you know?
Mm-hmm. Big fat nothing.
Mike, what is your overrated? Overrated.
All right, don't get mad at me, universe and hockey fans all around, but like, just based on the amount of talk it's gotten, like the Nazem Kadri trade is overrated.
Fuck, I'll switch mine. That was mine too.
Okay, yeah, like
let me think of another trade here. I gotta put my arm. I gotta put my arm rests up to get back in research mode.
I get it. You know, he's coming home. He's coming home. But he's not the same player he was back in 2021, 2022 season. And like, yeah, he's still physical. He brings that to the table. He's decent at face-offs, but like they had him up on the top line there with McKinnon and company, and I don't understand that. He's just been slowly dropping off throughout the past few years. It's just not. I don't know what they're expecting to get out of him, but they're not going to get 87 points in 71 games like they did the year they won the Cup. Well, obviously because they can't play 71 games with him at this point, but you know what
I mean. I'm quickly thinking here because I had Kadri. I thought there's no way Mike's gonna call this one overrated. He was so excited about this one.
I mean, I like Nazem Kadri. I loved that Avs team that won the Cup, but I guess it's tough because they kind of have their center spine set, so they wouldn't put Kadri on down the middle, and then also like their left side's not a murderer's row, so I kind of get it putting up there on the top line. I don't know if it's going to work, and they lost to the Oilers last night, so washed Avs. I don't know.
Washed Avs. Fuck, Justin Falk's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, maybe I can shit talk the Red Wings. I was like, no, that's working.
I'm doing all the work I can to try to find a backup. Nick Foligno. Is Nick Foligno overrated?
I mean, a little bit, because it came through late in the day, and people were like, "Oh, the captain, now he's going to Minnesota to play with his brother." And it's like, all right, he's like 100 and not. I mean, that's cool, but let's all look in the mirror here.
What if I called Corey Perry overrated and my favorite? It's my fault. I'm the one overrating him. Bobby Brink. He's supposed to be like a middle six forward. He's
That's
playing
fair.
12 minutes a night.
Honestly, you could say if you said the Wild's moves at the deadline in general were overrated, the Brink and Foligno deal, I'd be fine with that. Like they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fill out the bottom six, but they don't really move the needle too much.
Especially when I think Dallas and the Avs made better depth securing moves. And if you're Minnesota, your target is exclusively on those two teams.
Yeah.
You're not worried about anyone else because you got to make it out of that grind through the Central with a round robin of the three of you guys just killing each other. So, like, in a vacuum, right? Like, Michael McCarron, Bobby Brink, Nick Foligno, all kind of like do something, right? Jeff Petrie, all do something. But when you compare that to Dallas adding like legit middle six talent, or the Avs shoring up you would think they're bottom six, but it turns out maybe not so much. But
funny.
Go ahead.
Oh, so funny enough, like I'm not a big Bunting or Myers guy, so I actually I at first was thinking I was going to come into the segment and kind of talk shit about Dallas's trade deadline. Then I was like, you know what, Mike, they're 9-0-1 in their last 10, so you don't really have a leg to stand on.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Like, Tyler Myers isn't, Victor Hedman, right? Like
Calder winner, I believe.
He's not. There's no way. He's not just gonna rain shots in.
No, he
but
won the Calder with the Sabres.
I don't think so.
I know so.
But he's just like he's a good guy on the depth and the stars, and I know you just called him overrated, but if they ever fucking switch Kadri to be in the 3C, and have oh my god, who's the other guy they brought? Was it Carson Soucy? Who's their
Wait,
not Carson.
Why are you bringing up Kadri when we're talking about the Stars? I'm confused.
Because I'm talking about the Central.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Who's the guy they brought in? The other guy, that really bad guy. They're like 4C or whatever.
Which team? The Avs?
The Avs. Yeah.
Nick Roy.
Yeah, Nick Waugh.
Nick Waugh. Nick Waugh. Pronounced,
Nick Waugh. Yeah, they added like center depth. It's just Minnesota kind of just like added dudes. They just put players on the team.
Yeah.
And Nick Foligno especially Nick Foligno, it's borderline like you just brought in someone's brother for a skate for a while.
And also, to be fair to Tyler Myers, he's a trade acquisition that you can't really just go to like Money Puck or Natural Stat Trick to kind of get your opinion, because he played on the Canucks, and everybody on the Canucks have terrible numbers because the team's god awful.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying Elias Pettersson's probably actually a 100-point scorer?
No, he's actually just bad.
Okay,
He's
got it.
He's built different.
Mike, who is your underrated trade deadline acquisition?
This is a very fun dichotomy, what I got going on here, if you will, because they made a trade that I said was overrated, but they also made a trade that I think is underrated. That's the Avs picking up Brett Kulak for a second and Sam Girard. Kulak comes in.
The Brett Kulak, they also like shipped out a more expensive contract, didn't they? Like maybe that was two different trades, but yeah.
No, I think they shipped out. I think Girard would probably cost more, because people don't remember this, but Girard was on that cup-winning team, and he played very well in the playoffs as like kind of that stud on the third line who did really well. I remember that playoff run too. He did really well, like as far as like moving the puck, zone entries, stuff like that. But instead, they move him out. He hasn't been quite the same player since then. And they bring in Brett Kulak, who he may not be a lot of flash, but that dude's just like, he's like a solid anchor on their third line. He has been +1 in both of his first 2 games with them. I like that move.
Yeah. It's one of those where you're like, okay, this feels like a typical hockey move.
Yeah.
You just brought in like a big defensive defenseman who's a little bit older, but it's just sort of like clicks with this team. I don't know. Like maybe it's because they have so much speed higher up their lineup, but it's just like, all right, this works here, and you kind of know it's just gonna work pretty well in the playoffs too.
Yeah, Brett Kulak is 6'1", 192. Sam Girard is, let me see if there's a notable difference that makes this point worth bringing up. 5'10", 170. So you got a bigger stay-at-home guy, more physical, to kind of anchor that third line, like I was saying. So there's just a good little piece of business there.
I'm going to go with, as my underrated, although it was talked about pretty heavily, but I still think it's pretty underrated. John Carlson to the Anaheim Ducks. I get it. He's older. He's not the player that he was. What's up?
Still playing good, though.
Veteran kind of leadership for a pretty young team, and I'm not usually a guy who's super into that. But when your team's cored by a bunch of really young players, having a guy who spent 17 years as a captain for a cup-winning team isn't exactly a bad thing.
Yeah.
Even if he's just going to be, holding a clipboard or the iPad or whatever kids do these days.
Yeah, that's another one that I thought initially, like, oh, maybe I can poke holes in that one to be overrated. But I really looked into it. I was like, no, that's actually just a good move.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have a lot of score, or he had a lot of scoring this season prior to getting hurt and traded. So, John Carlson. Mike, that is trade deadline favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated. Any final thoughts on the trade deadline before we move on and look forward on what to talk about?
Wasn't the flashiest one, because St. Louis wanted 47 first and 57 top 6 players for Robert Thomas. But yeah, there's some stuff there.
It'd be great if someone met those trade demands. St. Louis Blues would all just be players from one trade. Mike, for the last 5 days, Team Town Alone, the official team of TownAlone.com was the Tampa Bay Lightning. During that time, we watched them play 3 games, a win over the Maple Leafs, and then 2 losses to the Sabres and Blue Jackets. That, Mike, what did we learn about Tampa Bay in the last 5 days?
It's been a rough post-Olympic break stretch here for Tampa Bay. They're 2-6. In the time we were following them, they're 1-2. They beat Toronto, but who hasn't done that? Then they lost the wild 8-7 game to Buffalo, and then last night they lost 5-2 to Columbus, which is rough. I think, there's a few things you can kind of point out to why they're struggling right now. I think one of them is Vasi's been kind of rusty since coming back from the Olympic break. He's had 6 starts. He's gone 2-4. In those 4 losses, he's given up an average of 4 goals a game. Not great.
Now do the same stats for Johannesson, who gave up 8 goals to Buffalo.
That was my next point, is that, and they really need Vasi to be a dude because their backup option of Jonas Johansson is so bad. He's started 2 games. He came in to relieve Vasi in their 6-2 loss to Buffalo in Tampa. But in his 2 starts, he's given up 13 goals. Would you be like, well, wait, 8 of those were to Buffalo, and then you do the math, and you're like, ooh, 5 of those were to the other team.
The other team? Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah. So they really need the goaltending to step up.
Yeah, the goaltending's definitely been tough. From watching them, I will also say that they have some like serious talent on their blue line, but just sometimes like, yeah, sometimes their whole like blue line just kind of falls asleep. Mind you, like I almost feel like we kind of have to throw out the Columbus game because that's after this incredible game against Buffalo, where they take a big lead and then Buffalo storms back to win the game. And for that game, Chernak was out after getting hurt in the Buffalo game, and Darren Radish had some kind of family issue going on, so wasn't at the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you almost have to, like, even if you throw out the Columbus thing, though, like in our time watching them in the other 2 games, they went 1-1 and gave up 5 goals a game. Just like that's I mean maybe in 2026 you can win that way, but if you're gonna try to go goal for goal against younger teams like Buffalo, it's probably not gonna be great. I mean, and maybe what you say in response to that is, well, Vasilevsky isn't gonna be a pumpkin forever.
Yeah, like there's always he has a track record. He gets hot, he'll get going. But I will say that the defensive play has been a notable issue with them, especially once again coming out of the All-Star break. Their top 6 defensemen since then, by like time on ice numbers, have given up 318 scoring chances against and 140 high danger chances against. And it's just not. I mean, McDonough came back from injury late January and just hasn't looked the same. They are. Well, it also doesn't help that Hedman's not Hedman anymore.
I mean, yeah, and the point of that is that Darren Radish stepped up and he's Hedman now.
He's the top defenseman on that team, yeah.
Yeah, and he also just thwacks the puck every time it gets near him like Victor Hedman used to. But, I mean, like outside of that, like I don't know, man, like Darren Radish, JJ Moser, Eric Chernak, Ryan McDonough, like those guys are all dudes. And a lot of the rest of the guys on their blue line are still like good. It's just like those top 4 are easily like an elite blue line combination, especially in the East, which has like 3 good teams.
The last thing I'll speak to on the Lightning, which I think is kind of biting them a little bit right now, and this is why they made that Corey Perry trade, is I think they're struggling to get, like, when you think about their run where they went to 3 Stanley Cups, won the first 2 back-to-back, they got big goals in offensive plays from their bottom 6. I think they're kind of struggling to find some of that right now. Like Anthony Cirelli hasn't had a goal since January 26th.
Jesus,
they really got to get something out of him. Nope, that's accurate. And then even like Jake Gunsel's had his fair share of points, so I'm not picking on him. But in the last 8 games, he's only had 1 goal. A lot of assists, only 1 goal, and I feel like they need him to be a bit more of a goal scorer in this situation. But I still feel like you can't count them out. They have so much talent up top. They have a goaltender. If he gets hot, he's going to be a brick wall. And they have one of the top 2 best coaches in the league?
I think most people would say the best coach in the league.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't worry about them until it gets to the first round of the playoffs, and if they come out laying eggs, then you can start worrying. But until then, I think they'll be fine.
We didn't mention him, and we absolutely have talked about him, but you know who's good at hockey?
Nikita Kucherov?
Nikita Kucherov.
Really fucking good at hockey.
in the 3 games we watched, he ends up with 8 points in 3 games, 2 goals, and 6 assists. I mean, a crazy performance, especially against Toronto, where he has 4 assists. I think all of them were primary assists too. But man, like there is a notable difference. Like you even pointed out there when the Lightning's top 6 versus their bottom 6 is on the ice. Like that when one of their top 2 lines is going, it looks like the fucking Avs out there. You're like, who can stop this? Yeah. And then Connor Geeky gets on the ice, and you're like, who couldn't stop this? Like, can this line beat Vancouver? It's like they're moving through sand.
That's just mean. Could be accurate, but that's just mean. Yeah, they got the worst of the 2 geekies, unfortunately.
You think they should? Connor from Morgan, who says no?
Yeah, Boston.
Yeah. Is there any other notes you have? What's with the smoke between Buffalo and Tampa?
Yeah, I mean, so if you want to talk about that game real quick.
Yeah, is there anything we should say about the their 5-2 win over Toronto? Toronto might be bad at hockey.
No, I mean Toronto kind of went like seller mode. They know that this season's just not happening.
Let me just say this, and then we can actually get to talking about the Buffalo Toronto game, because that's what everyone's here to listen to, anyways. Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay, they are in the box constantly. Yeah. They had what 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they had 4 penalty kills against Toronto. None of which Toronto managed to score on because, once again, as we said, Toronto's bad at hockey. I think against Buffalo they had 7 penalties. 7.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, they really helped Buffalo's power play stat percentage on that by giving us a lot of chances.
Yeah. And then against Columbus, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 6 against Columbus. And by the way, 3 of those were for fighting.
Yeah, I mean that Buffalo game, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of fun.
Did Dahlin get hurt or did he get kicked in that game? I can't remember now.
Dahlin?
Yeah. Did Dahlin get a game misconduct?
No, he played that game the whole time.
The whole time? He played the whole time?
Whole time.
I swear, I have like a vague
60
memory.
Minutes.
Yeah, I have a vague memory of seeing him walking towards the locker room at one point, but maybe that was at the end of the game.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, he played 26 minutes, 16 seconds. You're not wrong.
That kind of speaks to that game, how it started out early on. Is that, obviously a week ago, Buffalo goes to Tampa, beats them 6-2. And you could tell, it was actually a compliment to the Sabres that Tampa Bay came out and it felt like a playoff game almost. It was intense. It was physical. It was tight. Obviously, in the playoffs, there probably wouldn't be a massive scrum that leads to 9 guys total going to the box. But
I do just want to cut in and realize that it was Bowen Byram I was thinking about who got tossed. Bowen Byram.
Okay. Gotcha. So Tampa definitely came out and gave Buffalo the respect of all right, you're legit, and we're frustrated right now with how we're playing, so we're going to come at you. We're going to be aggressive. Early on, we jumped out to that big lead because it kind of bit them in the ass because they got, a little carried away and took dumb penalties, and that's how the Sabres were able to build that initial lead. So it is an issue right now.
Yeah, I you know what I should probably have looked up at some point is what their penalty kill percentage is. You'll never guess who has the best penalty kill in the league, Mike.
Who?
The Carolina Hurricanes.
Right.
Tampa Bay's penalty kill doesn't look terrible on paper, but they're giving up so many penalties, especially recently. And
they're 9th in the league on the year.
Yeah, so that's pretty good, but you also don't want to have to be on the penalty kill as much as they have been recently. So even with a good penalty kill, which their roster set up for that.
Yeah.
But they're they've got to be they've got to be like way high up there, right, in terms of number of penalty kills, especially since the Olympic break. It feels like they are constantly on the PK since the Olympic break.
Yeah, if you go by penalties in minutes, they're far away the leader at 9:45. Second place is Boston at 8:21, which tracks because there's a bunch of dirty sons of bitches.
So that feels like something they got to get cleaned up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that was very much eye test for me. I obviously didn't have the stats in front of me, but that's just from watching a few games. I'm like, fuck, this team's always in the box, man. Mm-hmm. And that means you're taking good players off your team, especially because for whatever reason it feels like Darren Radish is in the box every 4 seconds.
Yeah.
That guy is the loosest hockey player on earth. He just wants to slash people and slap pucks from the blue line.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at it. I mean, you could say he might have been lucky he didn't get suspended, but Brandon Hagel lost his cool, got fined $5,000. I mean, he could have. There's a real chance he could have taken himself off the ice for a couple games, and he's an extremely important player for them.
All right, so should we circle back to the Buffalo game there?
Yeah, sure.
On the season, right now, the season series, Buffalo's up 2-0? Or have they played 3 times?
I mean, in the past couple weeks they are. I don't know I feel like we've played more than twice, though, since it's division.
Same division, you must have.
Yeah.
So while I'm scanning through that, right now, Buffalo took the lead in the division from them. And Tampa no longer has a game in hand. They've played equal games. Buffalo has a 4-point lead, and a 1-game lead in the win column.
No, Tampa still has 2 games in hand.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
God, I saw the win-loss record.
End
Maybe
of this month it'll be evened up.
By the playoffs?
No, by the end of March.
Well, by the playoffs
like
it'll also.
2 weeks.
Okay, so
well, yes, by the playoffs it has to be evened up.
Buffalo's up 2-1 on the season series. All
Suck
3
it.
games coming since the start of February.
Oh, okay.
If you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, as Talent Alone was for the last 5 days, are you worried about running into Buffalo in the playoffs at this point?
I mean, yeah, you could say that. Buffalo managed to. I mean, they blew that lead, which was rough. But then, a good point that I heard being made by someone who's a lot smarter than me, someone who likes to regress to the mean since 2016, was that Lindy made a very in that third period, Lindy made a very smart move in shaking up the lines and putting Benson up on the top line with Thompson, because he's just better built to counter what Tampa was doing in that game. As Benson continues to be like one of the most underrated players in hockey because he makes all the clutch plays that set up goals.
Tampa Bay fans right now, Mike.
What?
You're doing your Sabres thing, where you're like, sorry. You know who we're not talking about enough is
I'm just saying
Logan Stanley. While we're talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning, let's get into this Logan Stanley talk here.
You gotta watch the tape on Benson because he makes all these clutch plays that set up the possession that leads to goals, but he doesn't get anything that pops up on the box score. So it's like people just don't get it. But that was like a big change that helped Buffalo kind of counter what Tampa Bay was doing in the end of the second, third period. They were able to slow the game down some, hem the Sabres into their zone, and obviously come back to take the lead 7-5. But I forgot how I got on that tangent. Can you remind me what your question was?
I don't even know, man. You just start talking about Zach Benson for
I love
4
Zach
minutes. So I asked you if you were worried about playing Buffalo in the playoffs. Right now, if the season ended today, Tampa would play Montreal in the first round. Who would you take?
Get by them.
Yeah. Then the other Atlantic matchup would be Buffalo-Detroit.
I'd love that. I'd love to take it to the bitch-made Red Wings. I'd love to knock that traitor Patrick Kane out of the playoffs.
So you would take Buffalo there?
Yeah.
So we'd be looking at a round 2 matchup between these two teams.
Yeah.
Just
I will not
to go
be
too deep into that, because if that does happen, we'll have plenty to say about it at the time. That obviously we'll do a whole deep dive on that series before it starts. But if that was to happen, we get Buffalo, Tampa, with Buffalo having home ice. How many games?
I mean, Tampa's so many veterans who've been there before. They'll be resilient. No less than 6. 6 or 7. That's good for the SEO.
Yeah. So I'll kind of end my Tampa thoughts here. They're obviously in a slump. They won 6 straight through the tail end of February, coming out of the Olympic break, or through the Olympic break, coming out of that. And then since they beat Toronto the first time, 4-2, they've won 1 of their last 7 games, which was also against Toronto. Is this a slump or regression to the mean? Like, is this more what should we expect from them? To lose to high-quality opponents on the road. They lost to Minnesota on the road. They lost to Buffalo on the road. They lost to Carolina on the road. Or is this just, it's hockey. Sometimes the numbers go against you for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's hockey. It's an 82-game season. You can get in a slump. Like I said, I'm waiting. Let's see how they're playing the last handful of games going into the playoffs and what they look like in round 1 before I'm ready to write them off.
All right. And everyone, circle on your calendars. April 6th. Tampa Bay at Buffalo. Part 4. Yeah, that's probably the game to watch for now. They also, I mean, they have kind of a tough stretch going down the run here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 playoff teams in their last 17 games, 16 games, whatever it is. So
they got 19 left.
Yeah, so 11 of the last 19 are against playoff teams. So could be a thing where we see Tampa kind of fall off a little bit, and Buffalo may have a more sound lead in the Atlantic as they set their eyes on outpacing Carolina for the overall 1 seed in the East. Mike, that's all.
Points back.
That's all my my Tampa Bay thoughts. Did you have any other Tampa Bay thoughts?
Yeah.
Anyone you want to shout out on the team that we haven't talked about yet? Talk about Corey Perry, Darren Radish, JJ Moser, McDonough, Hedman. The Cooch. Is Kucherov the most underrated super duper star in the league?
Yeah. Like every year, like the last few, did he ever win the Hart Trophy? I always come back to
he has
this.
a Hart Trophy.
He does have a Hart Trophy. But it feels like for the last 3 seasons, he had an extremely valid argument to win it. And it was just McDavid McKinnon.
Yeah, and he's a goal off of the Art Ross or something every year. Yeah. And we're like, well, got to give that to McDavid again.
It was McDavid, McKinnon, and Hellebuck.
Oh, yeah. This is also a team, something kind of fun about this is just the continuity through their Stanley Cup run teams. Mm-hmm. Obviously Corey Perry comes back, but fucking Braden Point, Anthony Cirelli,
Yanni
Eric
Gord
Chernak
is back.
Yanni Gord is back. Kucherov,
Not
obviously.
doing anything, but he's back.
Hagel, Hedman, Vasilevsky. I get it that it wasn't worth paying the price, but they really should have brought Stamkos back just for vibes. Stamkos,
really
imagine if they had brought back Stamkos and Corey Perry just for vibes. Oh my God, this team wouldn't lose another game.
What's Stamkos the number on the season?
6.
His numbers. 31 goals.
I thought you were. He had a hot start in the middle of the season, but
Yeah, 31 goals in 64 games, and you're out there wheeling and dealing for Corey Perry. Go get the Stammer. What are you doing?
I just get both of them, man. Can they convince Nashville to buy out Stamkos?
It's ironic though, because last time Corey Perry was on the team was when they lost the Stanley Cup. So why would you want that guy back?
Hey, you wanna hear a great joke that I just came up with that no one has come up with before?
Yeah.
After trading Corey Perry, Tampa Bay's locked in to lose the Stanley Cup this year.
Yes.
It's snowing outside.
Damn.
It's March 11th, and it's snowing. All right, Mike. That was our Team Talent Alone for the last 5 days. Do you want to pick our Team Talent Alone now, or do you want to end the show on that? Our next Team Talent Alone?
Let's pick it now.
Okay. I have some candidates for you that I wanted to just rattle off here, and then you could tell me if you're feeling some kind of way.
Okay.
I think there's some playoff bubble teams that are worth talking about. You brought up Utah last time. I think Utah's a good pick. I think it's a good idea to maybe follow Utah. Seattle, another one. We haven't done Edmonton. Boston, which I know you will not go with, so that's why I kind of just went Boston.
Actually, I thought about Boston earlier when I was thinking about it. I'm not going to lie.
Well, look at you, Mike. You've grown. That's what I appreciate about you. The Islanders, I also thought would be just a whole heck of a lot of fun. And Columbus. So, once again, kind of the main ones there. Edmonton, Seattle, Columbus, New York Islanders, and Utah Mammoth.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the real allure with Boston is how like Morgan Geekie went there, and all of a sudden he's like a 30-goal scorer in back-to-back years. Like, what the fuck? Where'd that come from?
Do you see them like the interview with Jeremy Swayman after the trade deadline?
Mm-mm.
Like I don't think the Boston's a threat to like really win anything, but Jeremy Swayman was just like, yeah, I'm super stoked no one got traded. Just we're all brothers in there. We all get to hang out. We love each other. It's like, fuck. Sometimes it's not even about like winning a cup. Like maybe Boston thinks they have a chance of winning a cup, but sometimes it's just like, Jeremy Swayman wants to like chill with Charlie Coyle or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think Charlie Coyle's on the.
I meant McAvoy. I said Charlie Coyle, but I didn't.
There you go. Yeah, I was like, Charlie Coyle's on the Bruins.
I realized it as soon as I said it. I said, fuck, I'm gonna get called out for that one.
Yeah, Boston's an idea. Obviously, I mentioned Columbus because they've been hot lately. They got a lot of fun, young talent. Good team to root for. There's Utah. Watch little JJ Paterka, who now has less points than Jack Quinn. Just point throwing it out there.
Hey, by the way, I know that we're not Buffalo wasn't the team, but
yeah,
Jack Doan just fucking rips shots, man.
Oh, Josh Doan, yeah, he's a
Josh Doan, yeah. Like if the puck touches the stick, he goes and to the goal.
Yeah. He's got that dog in him. He's got that Mamba mentality. He's always taking the shots.
He's got that Bam Adebayo mentality.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting fouled. What were the other teams you threw out again?
The Islanders.
We're not doing Edmonton.
Seattle.
We're not
doing
Seattle.
Edmonton. Why wouldn't we? Edmonton has Connor McDavid on it.
Who cares?
They just beat the Avalanche. I mean, Nate McKinnon had to get tossed for them to beat the Avalanche, but they just beat the Avalanche. Mike, their goaltenders are so bad. They're so bad.
They've played one more game, yet they're still trailing the Anaheim Ducks by 3 points, who have a goal differential of -7. All right, I think I'm gonna take you seriously. Get out of here, and don't get me started on those nights. Anyway,
the Pacific's such garbage.
I'm kind of feeling the Islanders, to be honest with you.
Fucking Matty Shafes?
Yeah, they came back. They were down last night against St. Louis. Stormed back from, I think they were down 3-0. Stormed back, and Matt Barzal scored a beauty in overtime for the win.
Go back. By the way, Matty Shafes leads the Islanders in minutes by 200 minutes.
Jesus.
But go back to the Islanders a year ago, 1 year ago, and tell Mike Regan then that you're going to be actually actively hoping that we pick the Islanders as the team to watch for a week.
I know. I spent like the better part of the last decade just being like, Islanders are the most boring team in hockey.
I think
I refuse to watch them.
Kind of like our whole bit about how Edmonton just needs to trade for a goaltender being the cornerstone of this podcast. The Islanders being boring has been like 1B. Like, we've talked about how boring the Islanders are a lot in the history of Baskey. Mike, if you want to go Islanders, if you're feeling the Islanders, they don't have a game for a few days. So if we started watching them, we would get to see them play Los Angeles, Calgary, and Toronto.
Los Angeles, Calgary, and Toronto. Those are not great.
They
should win those games.
Not stellar games, yeah. And 2 of them are at home at least.
Who's Columbus playing?
Well, the day after we'd be watching them, Columbus is playing the Islanders. If that does anything for you.
Oh, that's right.
Let me see. Columbus is playing the hockey teams known as the Florida Panthers, the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Carolina Hurricanes.
Ooh. That's a stretch.
That is a stretch. 2 playoff teams, and then the Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers. Huh.
And let me pull up Utah here real quick, because we've thrown out Utah quite a few times over the course of this.
We have.
The Mammoth.
Even though you hate Mackenzie Weegar.
With a passion, Mike. With a passion.
Yeah.
Utah will play Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. So they have like one really good game. Because Pittsburgh is now without Malkin and without Crosby.
So, do you mind if I say Columbus? Because I feel like they're playing 2 playoff teams. They've been hot. They're playing 2 playoff teams. So we'll get a good idea of like, all right, can this team actually make this push and get in? Or are they fake?
Give me your prediction for what our general sentiment will be on the Columbus Blue Jackets going into next Wednesday's podcast.
General consensus.
Sentiment?
If you will. Sentiment. That's what I said. Goddamn. Zach Werenski's good. Goaltending's pretty middling.
Yeah. I was about to say, how about something about the goaltending or about Ivan Provorov? You got any Ivan Provorov thoughts right now?
And their highest goal scorer has 24 goals.
Yeah, that's not great.
That's not great.
Here's the thing, though, right? Their goaltending's not terrible. Just Elvis Merzlikins is fucking terrible.
Yeah, Greaves is like league average.
I think Greaves is pretty good. I might be a Greaves guy. Maybe we'll come on here and have the great Greaves debate.
You're a greasy Greaves guy?
I'm a greasy Greaves guy. You know what, Mike? You know what? In the NHL, I like the Jets, and I don't mean the Winnipeg ones.
Hey-yo. All right, Columbus it is?
Columbus it is. We'll be back on Wednesday to discuss the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Shout out LeBron James.
Shout out LeBron James, who would get more photos than Adam Fantilli. Mike, we only got one more thing we got to do here. It's a little game called Prospect Wordle. Wouldn't it be wild if I just dropped a Prospect Wordle into the end of Baskey on you? Mike, we got to do one of my favorite exercises we've done on this before. We got to do Karma Rankings. We're going to do the Cup Karma Rankings. We're just going to rattle off a top 5 in terms of what teams have earned the positive karma that it takes for you to deserve to win a Stanley Cup. Now, I have a few factors I've taken in here, but I don't want to step on you by listing off my factors ahead of time. So, Mike, why don't you just kick it off here? Give me your number 5 team. We'll go 5 to 1. 5 to 1.
Went 5 to 1. All right. Number 5 team is I'm going with the Oilers. And hear me out. They have the best 2 players in the world. Well, not best 2 players in the world. They have the best player in the world and the guy who's the argument for the number 2 player. So it's like you should just win it on that fact. But I have them 5 because there's also like, no, you don't deserve to win it because you keep making bad decisions in the other players you put on the ice.
You know, it's a good argument because Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl definitively deserve to win a cup. They are high-quality players who play every year, and they play their ass off. And they've played a lot of games, and they're still on the ice every single game. On the other hand, the ownership and front office of the Edmonton Oilers definitively does not deserve to win a Stanley Cup. They make terrible decisions. Terrible decisions with this roster.
I started chuckling because I was thinking of a week or 2 ago, and McDavid got asked that question, where the guy was like, like the cups and the gold medals, like they found Crosby and Gretzky, and did you just think it would be this hard? And McDavid just goes, "Yeah, great question."
Yeah. You might find this as a shock to the system. But I did not have the Edmonton Oilers in my top 5 because they traded for Tristan Jarry, who then proceeded to be worse than Stuart Skinner.
They gave up, some kind of pick just to get goddamn Mangiapane off the books.
Yeah, they signed Mangiapane, who then at 29 years old turned into a worse player than, 40-year-old Brent Burns? And
Brent Burns is a fucking stallion, dude. That man, he's like the Bobby Wagner of hockey. He just gets better with age.
he gets thicker with age. Like one day, he's gonna be as wide as the rink. And I don't mean he's fat. Just like somehow he just like he adds inches to his thickness every season. I feel like.
With that beard, he looked like Hagrid from Harry Potter, probably.
If he shaves it, he's gonna look like Vincent D'Onofrio's character from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
The guy who played Kingpin?
Yeah, he's gonna look like Kingpin from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I couldn't remember Kingpin, and I don't know who the voice actor is from Spider-Verse, but he's very wide.
Mm-hmm. Very wide.
Mike, my number 5 team. Mm-hmm. Utah Mammoth.
I think they deserve it. They've been around for 2 years. They don't deserve shit.
Right, but this is a team that got acquired from the sad sack, perennially dog shit Arizona Coyotes. Moved them into a new facility, invested money in the team, made smart decisions. And you know what? I get the Mammoth as a dumb mascot because it should be mammoths. They got cool fucking colors, too. But they've brought in talent to this team. They are a well-coached team. They are a good defensive team. And they turned them from being like one of the lamest franchise in the NHL to like a actual like fringe contender in just a few years. This is the opposite of the Oilers.
Yeah.
Like, is there any particular player on the Mammoth that you would say, oh, that guy really deserves to win a cup, right? Like the Ogwak guys, the old guys without a cup. Maybe not. Like,
no.
Yeah, like who would be your number 1 draft pick from the Utah Mammoth in terms of that person deserves to win a cup? Like, I mean, they just acquired Uyghur. Uyghur already has. Like, Sergachev has. I don't know. Clayton Keller, I guess, would be your go-to.
Yeah, I guess.
So they definitely don't have a guy.
Sergachev already has one.
Right. This is why this is why they're 5. Right. I mean, like Logan Cooley would be another guy, but he's obviously been hurt. This is why they're 5, because there's no individual player you would look at and go, that guy deserves a cup. But this ownership turning around this dog shit situation in Arizona and turning them into like a good to very good hockey team. Fuck yeah, buddy. I get it. They're like a distant 4th in the Central. But it's the Central. Come on.
Yeah. All right.
Mike hates my pick. Not as much as I hate
No,
his
I don't hate your pick.
How about that, Mike? How do you feel about that? I hate your pick. I hope your pick dies. I hope it drives off a cliff with his girlfriend in the trunk.
My only thing is, like, that last year in Arizona, it was evident, like, oh, they got some good young pieces here. There is talent on this team.
Yes.
It's not crazy that, what's happening.
Right. It's not crazy. But it was a team that was sad and listless for so long, gets moved to a new place, gets invested in, has a good fan base. And also, who doesn't love some Carl Vamelka, Mike? Who doesn't love some Carl Vamelka? Yeah, here's a guy whose name's impossible to spell, Al.
I was going to say, if you don't watch hockey, you can't pronounce his name.
Carl. It's Carl.
Veggie Milka.
Mike, who is your number 14?
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ooh. Does that hurt? Is it rubbing your throat a little? Do you feel the stomach acid starting to bubble up?
No. It's all right. It's just based on the fact that I didn't think they'd be like a playoff team this year because, Kyle Dubas makes the decisions.
More like Kyle Doofus.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a Kyle Doofus guy, but I mean, it's Sid the Kid. It's what's a generational player who was like the face of hockey for the 2010s. So, well, like 2008 to like mid 20. I don't know. Whenever McDavid came in the league, it changed. But point is that they deserve it to get him there to get one more.
How many does he have? 2?
2.
Yeah, I can see an argument to get him one more. It's another one where it's like, it's another one where I'm like, okay, there's one guy you can really point to and go, that guy deserves a cup, and he already has one, right?
Yeah.
So it's not as strong of a case of like, there's a guy that deserves this, but I just absolute props to the team that came in as the favorite in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes, who was going to sell off everyone, and they went, nah, we're fucking Pittsburgh.
We're going for it.
We had to trade Jaromir Jagr so the team didn't fold, and yet we got Sidney Crosby. We turned this shit around. We caught fire, and now we've been in a solid playoff position with Stuart Skinner in goal.
Hell yeah.
Mike, you're gonna hate my number 4 team. I just want to warn you.
Who's your number?
My number 4 team is the New England Patriots. No.
Damn it.
The Carolina Hurricanes.
Okay, they're my number 3 team.
Okay, I thought you were gonna hate this. Listen, it's a team that goes for it every year, and you can even point to their like pickups that it's like, was this a good call? Like Keandre Miller. They paid a pretty penny for Keandre Miller. Was this a good call? Probably not. But you know what, Mike? They fucking went for it. Every year they have an identity, and that identity is slap shots from all over the ice and back checking. And
It's so
they try to pick up players every year, and there's some guys on this team that you can point to and say, that guy deserves a ring. Sebastian Aho deserves a ring. Nikola Ehlers deserves a ring. Right? Does Taylor Hall have a ring?
no. And you
Jacob
have no
Slavin
love for Seth
deserves a
Jarvis.
ring. Rod Brindamore deserves a ring as a coach.
Fuck Rod Brindamore.
You just hate him because he's so buff.
No, I hold grudges from the 2006 playoffs. Yeah, like they deserve it because, like, goddamn, you're constantly like the best team
Always
in the
bridesmaid.
East,
Yeah.
or one of the best teams in the East, and then it just doesn't go right in the playoffs. Can't get to the finals. And it's so on brand with Carolina hockey that like they have no 30-plus goal scorers, but they have 4 that are at 20-plus.
They are the embodiment of when you would see the stat where it's like Aaron Rodgers completed 11 passes to 9 different receivers today.
Yes.
They will never have a guy who finishes in the top 5 for Hart voting, but every year they'll have 4 guys who should finish in the top 5 for the Selke.
Yeah, and like you said, like, even though like some of the moves are like, is that going to work? I feel like overall their front office makes good moves. Their only mistake is when they trade for like that dude who they think is going to be like that big offensive piece that finishes the puzzle, and then that guy's like, I don't want to be here. As in like Gunsel and Rantanen are like, no, get me the hell out of Carolina. I don't like barbecue that much.
Apparently the owner's a dick, which is why players always want out of there. Like, apparently he sucks.
Yeah. Is the owner, Dan Schneider, just wearing a mustache?
Yeah.
I'm Snan Dieter.
And I think that we should rename this team a racial slur.
Yeah.
So that was your number 3 team, right?
Yeah, so you can...
My number 3 team.
Number 3.
The Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars. I thought about... I for a while, I exercised putting the Avs in the spot, but everyone... Like, the core of the Avs all have a ring. Mm-hmm. And you can make the Sid the Kid argument where you could say, well, the quality of these players, they deserve more than one ring. But all of them have a ring.
Yeah.
The fucking Stars, on the other hand, man, I mean, Miro Heiskanen, perennial, like, Norris caliber defenseman. Esa Lindell, another great piece. Wyatt Johnston, overlooked, deep draft guy, now one of the highest quality 1Cs in the entire league. Jason Robertson, bad at hockey, doesn't get to play on Team USA. Thomas Harley, Tyler Meyer, Mikko Rantanen, who they get in like an incredible double trade deal, obviously. Rupe Hintz, another excellent center. Ilya Lyubushkin, like all of these guys deserve a ring, right? And
Michael Bunting.
Of course, Mike. Michael Bunting, the immortal Jamie Benn.
The bunt cake.
Old man Jamie Benn deserves a ring.
Oh, definitely. I can get behind getting Jamie Benn a ring.
Yeah,
It's just too bad that Pavelski's not there anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Pavelski was like Pavelski was like the all-time Ogwak, old guy without a cup.
Yeah.
But they got some guys that deserve the cup now.
Matt Duchene's another dude who's been around a long time, had some really good years.
They just simply they would be even higher up my list if they would just cut Jason Robertson, who isn't even good enough to make Team USA. Come on, Jason Robertson.
his 34 goals and 74 points in 64 games. What a bum.
What a bum. If he was any
plus
good.
21 on the season. Dog.
I mean, come on. JT Miller made the team over him. He must not be very good.
Obviously not.
Mike, who's your number 2 team?
You said no because they suck and they don't deserve it, but the Colorado Avalanche.
What's the argument?
Based on this,
because like, what's the argument that they deserve a cup after they won a cup
Dallas
3 years ago?
Yeah, so Dallas has gotten really hot all of a sudden, and so they've closed the gap. They're 5 points behind. But for the majority of the season, the Avs were just far and away a Death Star, better than everybody else in the league. So based on that fact, it's like we rebuilt our roster back to being the best team in the NHL, except for the last game where we lost to the Oilers somehow. But other than that, we deserve this damn cup.
As we covered, they lost that game because Nathan McKinnon got tossed for goaltender interference, which
Oh, that's right.
I maintain you cannot interfere against Edmonton goalies because you can only help them by getting in their way.
That's true. Did you see the game-winning goal by McDavid?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fucking beautiful. It was so beautiful.
That was the Leon Draisaitl give and go?
Yeah, the way he passed that puck to Draisaitl and then just immediately did that spin move and went to the net was just so he saw what was going to happen. Like way before anybody else.
Yeah, it was. Can I make a reference here that absolutely no one's going to get?
Mm-hmm.
It was like the end of Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, where Moriarty and Sherlock don't actually have the fight. They just all watch the fight happen in their minds and then realize that Sherlock's going to win the fight, so they don't even start it.
Just like that.
Just like that. Where and he also passes it to Draisaitl with such disgust. He just like smacks it at him and then spins around, catches it, and just goes high on the glove side or blocker side on Mackenzie Blackwood. I mean, just had no chance at it either. It was just a great McDavid goal.
I feel like McDavid has plays sometimes where he's like, oh, the rest of these bums aren't going to do it, Leon. It's just me and you.
Yeah. He also had the one the Nugent Hopkins goal in that game, where Nugent Hopkins carries it past the blue line, then passes it to McDavid. Then McDavid does all the work, puts it back on Nugent Hopkins' stick, who's just on the other side of the goal. And everyone's like, Nugent Hopkins, he would have gotten his own assist on his goal there. And I was like, he could have been cardboard, and that would have gone in. That was a McDavid redirect, just in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. Hey, I just looked this up because I wanted to see if Brent Burns had ever won a cup. I got distracted not looking that up. You know, Brent Burns has 3 seasons he played as a right wing.
Really? I know that.
And guess what? He switched to defense and immediately made 5 straight All-Star games. So maybe he was playing out of position. I still haven't figured out if he won a cup because I got distracted by that. So I'll go back to searching on that. You want to? I mean, we got off the topic here. You want to make the case for why the Avs are your number 2 team in terms of?
I already did.
Did you? Are you sure?
Yeah, I did.
You want to go back and check the tapes?
Mm-hmm.
Games played, assist points. I don't think Brent Burns has a cup.
I don't think he's ever won one.
I don't think he has a cup, Mike.
I think he's on the Sharks for a stretch too. Obviously, they've never won one. So.
What do you mean? Didn't they win all those cups with Big Joe? Didn't they win like 6 of them or something? Yeah, because he missed the time in Colorado. He played for Minnesota, San Jose, and Carolina. So yeah, no cups for Brent Burns. So Brent Burns deserves a cup. That's for sure.
Yeah.
My number 2 team, Mike. A little team that you're familiar with. The New England Patriots. Is this bit getting old yet? You want to stop? The Buffalo Sabres, Mike, are my number 2 team.
They're my number 1. You're full of shit. They're number 1.
I'll explain why they're number 2 in a second here. But yeah.
Right.
I mean, the best story in the NHL this season. Like, no question. I mean, they started off like a middling to poor team. Lindy Ruff was starting to, as soon as you think you're going to fire Lindy Ruff, his team goes on a tear, and that's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. They have their entire roster is guys who deserve to win a cup. Their goaltending just out of nowhere gets pulled up from being like a weakness to suddenly Alex Lyon has 15.7 goal saved above expected. UPL has 4.2. Colton Ellis was good in his limited starts for the team. They have a bunch of like lovable underdog guys. I mean, guys that were thrown in trades for other pieces. Like Alex Tuck was never supposed to be like a top line forward on a team that has a legitimate shot at a deep playoff run, and he is. Rasmus Dahlin, I mean, obviously he was supposed to be really good, and he is. But Bowen Byram, another guy that got swapped as part of kind of like a throw-in in a deal. Owen Powers' resurgence.
That wasn't a throw-in. That was a rare player for player.
It was player for player, but it was like both teams betting
Middleset
against their player that they had.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what isn't to love? Peyton Krebs, another guy who's just, like, plays excellent bottom 6 minutes, who was just like, well, we got to get rid of Eichel, so we'll get what we can in return.
Yeah, that was what...
As you love to mention, Josh Doan outscoring JJ Peterka.
Yeah. I mean, a decade, damn near a decade and a half of just darkness, despair, miserable existence. Finally find the light at the end of the tunnel. Get the whole city reinvigorated. Finally seeing the stands sold out, just going insane. I mean, they deserve it. The city deserves it. Lindy deserves it.
Lindy deserves it. Part of the reason that they aren't won is because I think a Buffalo championship in a year or two with Yuri Kulik and Konstas Helenius, that'll be the moment. It's like the entire like homegrown roster of these dudes would be incredible.
We win it this year, next year, and the third year.
You go for the four-peat. When's the last time we had a four-peat? Like the fucking Canadians or Islanders in the 1970s? Yeah. Who's your number 2 team, Mike? Did you already say that? Was it the Avs?
Yeah, mine was the Avs. Your number 2 was the Sabres. They're my number 1, so back to you.
The Minnesota Wild. And here's why. Here's why. They do have a lot of guys who it's like, oh, that guy deserves a goal. Or Jesus Christ, a cup at some point. You know, I mean, obviously, Kirill Kaprizov had his issues getting out of Russia. That kind of makes it like a good, like, man, it'd be nice if this guy could get something. The Felinos. We love us some Team USA, Matt Boldy, Brock Faber guys. Joel Eriksson Ek, another guy who's just, I mean, how is that guy not a Florida Panther? That guy deserves to be a Florida Panther more than anyone that's ever been a Florida Panther before. Vladimir Tarasenko is the old guy without a cup, I think he doesn't have a cup.
Yeah. He doesn't have a cup now. He spent his whole career in St. Louis, and then he bounced around the last couple seasons.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember if one of the last seasons he bounced somewhere that ended up with a cup. But
was he on...
I'm checking.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
But here is why I have them one over the Sabres. He's on Florida in 2023, so he might have a cup.
No. Yeah, he did. He got a cup.
Okay. Here's why I took them over the Sabres. Because they went with a balls to the wall, all in, we are going for that shit right now trade by trading for Quinn Hughes. They said we're pushing our chips into the middle of the table. And that's shit that I respect when it comes to the Cup Karma rankings. You know, they didn't and couldn't tank because they had all the dead cap in the world for the last few seasons. They get out from under the dead cap. What's the first thing they do? They had an expensive defenseman by pushing all their chips in, and that guy's been fucking nails.
Yeah.
So for all those reasons, that's why my number 1 team in terms of the Cup Karma rankings is the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, they also didn't back down. Like, they saw Colorado and Dallas both make moves to better their roster, and they were like, down there, we're going to do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we got Bobby Brink and old Nick Foligno, but still, we're making the moves. We refuse to sit here and fall behind. We're going to try to do something.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, it's wrong. It's a wrong pick for number 1.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
All right, Mike, that's all the hockey news I got, or the hockey talk I got. The hockey talk, man.
It's all hockey.
It's all hockey. We'll be back next Wednesday. By the way, mid us talking about this, the Mammoth re-signed Nick Schmaltz to an 8-year, $64 million deal. Mike, your thoughts? Nick Schmaltz, $8 million a year?
No, I looked at my phone. Bill signed Bradley Chubb to a 3-year deal, $52.5 million.
Jesus, $52 million for Bradley Chubb?
I don't want to be around right now.
I don't want to be around anymore. Nick Schmaltz, 59 points in 65 games. Does that work at $8 million a year to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not sign a good, solid, probably aging out center, but good, solid center to an $8 million a year?
Tuck's worth 9, so Schmaltz could be worth 8.
There you go. Mike, outside of any second now throwing yourself off of the nearest bridge to avoid the Joey Bosa 2.0. Actually, Joey Bosa 0.8, I think, is how I would call Bradley Chubb.
Joey Bosa, but 3 times as long on the contract.
Any other thoughts on your on hockey for the week?
No. Go Sabres.
Go Sabres. We'll be back next Wednesday to talk Columbus Blue Jackets. Maybe we'll do some kind of like tank race talk. We haven't talked about the bottom of the standings at all this season. So maybe we'll do some of that. We'll do the opposite. We'll do top 5 worst karma tankers or something like that.
Yeah, what if somehow the ping pong balls drop in the favor of like San Jose? They get Macklin Celebrini, Gavin McKenna.
Should that be what we do? Should we do top 5? Should we do top 5 lottery luck? The ping pong balls in hockey are so weird. It's like only the top 3 are in the lottery or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I don't fix it as often. They still fix it from time to time. Like
so
like,
the top
McDavid,
the top
has to go
11,
to where Gretzky went.
the top 11 can move up to the first overall pick. Which, by the way, means Chicago has 2 shots at the first overall pick this year. So maybe we'll do like top 5 worst karma or something like that.
Yeah.
But Mike, that's all I got. You want to give any plugs on the way out the door?
Yeah, I'm Mike. Follow me on Twitter. Go to the website. Look at what I write. There you go.
Right. There you go, indeed. Yeah, so like Mike said, go to the website, talentalone.com. You can follow us on our socials that are in the description as well as at the end of the video. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, go on whatever platform you're on, give us as many stars as possible. And if you don't follow us, follow us. Spotify keeps telling me I have less followers than I should, which is not a great thing for my podcast platform to keep reminding me of. And if you do follow us and you like what we do here, go on your friend's phone and have them follow us. Go on your dad's phone. Go to random funerals and take the phones off the dead bodies. Follow us on those phones.
People get buried with their phones now?
Shut up. If you like what we do here and you want to see what our faces look like, we do make a video podcast. It goes up in conjunction with the audio podcast at Talent Alone. Nope, that's wrong. At youtube.com/@talentalonepodcast. We stream. youtube.com/Talent Alone stream, where we
subscribe and ring the bell.
Don't ring the bell. Don't ring the bell. Don't ring the bell. I've been using local chat and marathon to tell people to subscribe and not ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
But we'll have an article going up over the weekend predicting the AEW Revolution in our year-long series of predicting wrestling pay-per-views. And we'll be back next Wednesday, Mike, talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets. With that, since we don't do shout-outs on Basky, would you care to guess, or can you recall, why there is only 31 picks in the first round of this year's draft? Can you recall the team that does not have a pick in the first round?
Someone get in trouble?
Someone got in trouble.
Was it the Knights?
No. Why do you always think it's the Knights, Mike?
I'm going to say it's the Flyers. I think it's the Flyers, isn't it?
You gonna take a flyer and say it's the Flyers, Mike? You gonna take a flyer?
I am, yeah. Why do I feel like they did something messed up.
It was the Ottawa Senators for their role in the invalidated Evgeny Dodonov trade. So it kind of was the Knights. It was kind of the Knights, Mike. It was a little bit the Knights.
It's kind of.
It was a little bit the Knights. All right, with that, Mike, let's fucking get out of here.